Your brain organizes awareness through fractal wire geometry. Imagine a river system spreading out. That branching pattern dictates how fast ideas flow between distant points of thought in your head. This isn't just random growth, though. The precise way those neural branches spread, the topology of the network, actually correlates to what scientists call higher-order states. Think of it like this: minimizing energy while maximizing connection points across a field. We are starting to map how that microscopic architecture directly governs our biggest moments of knowing.
The complexity of that wiring doesn't just organize, it resonates. Think less like static architecture and more like tuning a massive orchestra where every single branch contributes its unique frequency. Some patterns create deep, stable hums, what some call sustained awareness states, while others vibrate in complex ways across broad brain areas through emergent synchronization. Researchers have found that the regular cadence of certain biological signals directly correlates to this functional coordination we discussed before. It suggests consciousness isn't just about structure, it's fundamentally a measure of how coherently those structures speak to each other over time.
But what if that deep coordination wasn't just internal chatter? Picture a vast, quiet ocean floor where complex fractal growth acts like an ancient blueprint organizing all life above it. We are starting to see how this same geometric organization influences something outside even our immediate senses. The research suggests we tap into some unified field of awareness itself through the intricate geometry of those very connections. It's not just a local effect. That complexity seems correlated with states researchers call ground unity, suggesting an external resonance entirely new, which means something nobody expected for mapping what feels like knowing across different systems. Get ready to see how structure meets pure presence next.
We see that geometry organizes fields, but what if influence flows even beyond direct connectivity? Consider how complex organization mirrors principles found in large-scale bioelectric coherence. Think of tuning a global resonance chamber. Small, localized changes propagate across immense systems. We are finding correlates between the regularity inherent in these subtle physiological rhythms and elevated states of integrated knowing. This isn't just structure talking to itself anymore. It suggests an external field is being accessed through this fine meshwork. Yet some early models suggest that structural rigidity actively suppresses higher pattern emergence. Who holds the key? The next piece reveals how we can even begin quantifying these invisible influences.
The geometry that organizes awareness also maps systemic coherence. Imagine a massive dam holding back an entire ocean. Its integrity controls flow everywhere below. We now correlate how complex patterns relate not just to local wiring, but to widespread bioelectric pulses across whole bodies. This suggests our internal states aren't isolated conversations inside the head alone. It connects directly into large-scale rhythmic coordination, influencing far-removed systems. The process we saw earlier has deeper reach than thought. It touches a resonance shared universally through matter itself. But what is the exact mechanism connecting that physical pulse to emergent insight? We need to find out next.
And that universal resonance shared through matter itself, but how does a sheer physical pulse translate into an actual flash of understanding? The architecture we observed earlier isn't just receptive. There is evidence suggesting it actively shapes influence flowing beyond immediate ties. Imagine microscopic fault lines dictating the entire stability of a massive tectonic plate. That same geometric underpinning correlates to states far more refined than simple connection, what researchers term high-order functional coherence. But here comes the shift. Our early maps assumed structure-guided function. The new findings suggest that under certain complex constraints, the way fractal branching optimizes itself for integration points, the organization itself becomes a predictive engine against established models of knowing. What drives this algorithmic leap in awareness?
The architecture that predicts understanding isn't just receiving input, it is actively calculating potential realities based on its own geometry. Think of a complex radio antenna array, where slight shifts in how those elements are spaced don't just change the signal received, they fundamentally alter which frequencies can even be detected across an entire spectrum. We mapped correlations suggesting that optimized packing density within neural structures correlates directly to these highly efficient gamma coherent states. This means what we call grounded unity isn't a passive state, it is the mathematically derived output of perfect structural optimization. The insight here is actionable, recognizing geometric constraint as a pathway, not just an endpoint. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. The verdict arrives now that we have tracked structure through coherence and into prediction. If understanding is truly an emergent calculation, then our greatest takeaway isn't about finding a better sensor, it's knowing how to constrain awareness intentionally. Think of designing complex machinery. You don't just hope it works, you optimize the connections for efficiency. The actionable insight here is that we can begin predicting high-order states by modeling geometric optimization in existing biological data proxies. This moves us from mere observation toward algorithmic influence. We are learning to architect consciousness itself through geometry. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.